What I'd like you to do is see if you can hit the lens, OK, on that, with that, when I've given you a bullet, not yet, while we're driving by, all right?
I'll give it a go. All right.
You'd rather shoot him. He was the one, I should explain, ladies and gentlemen, who turned up to the British Grand Prix, didn't he, and said...
Well, someone asked him who he'd like to win the race, and he said, Damon Hill.
Damon Hill. The number of the beast. Right, we'll just back up. Should have known your car wasn't 666. Look how fast it goes. That's the ticket. Right. Good long run up. Ready?
Have you loaded me up?
No, I'll give you a bullet. Right, do that. I have to pull that back. No, it's back. Now, don't put your finger on the trigger. It's a very, very sensitive trigger.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Here we go. We'll speed up. Right, now go, 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 go.
Oh!
No, you blithering idiot! We'll go again. Put that in there. Right, ready? Here we go again. Oh. A bit nearer. Damon! Oh. That was a very good shot. I have been asked by the powers that be at the BBC to say that under no circumstances should you go out and actually shoot a speed camera because it's against the law, it's vandalism. So don't buy one of those guns, which are available from all good stores for $29.99. Good, let's clear that up. Now, Damon, you were in Formula One for 7 years. When did the shock hit you that it had all finished?
Well, I suppose the moment you turn the TV on, the first race, and you're not there. It's a bit... it's like, get this sort of strange feeling that you ought to be in Australia instead of Surrey.
That was an odd moment, was it?
Well, yeah, kind of. Because the last time I'd done that was when I was actually, not in Formula One. So for 7 years, I'd actually been there doing it all. But it didn't take me long to get over it. I just, watched a bit of it and then went outside and had a cup of tea in the garden.
You do lead an exciting life. in the last season, there was that time when you, right in front of me, actually, at the British Grand Prix, spun while doing about 3 miles an hour. What do you say to yourself at a time like that?
Bollocks.
It is.
And the rest of it.
I have to ask you this. Your last season was pretty disastrous. It appeared to me as though your heart really wasn't in it. What was going on?
No, it was a messy season, but when you've decided that it's not it's not something you want to be doing anymore, then it's very difficult. Well, you're not fighting for a championship, then it's very difficult to get that performance you get when you're actually right up at the sharp end, and so it was. Wasn't really a very good way to end the career. But then, if I'd stopped when I won the championship, then I wouldn't have, done the other things like lead Grand Prix and Arrows and had a chance at winning another race like Spa.
Was there pressure from home? Look, you've done okay. You've been world champion. We have all the luxury of pertinences that we could ever wish for. Just stay alive.
Well, I think that was always my intention, was to try and stay alive. It's a good motivating factor, actually. But the objective is to win, and if you can't see that that's a possibility, or if it's getting too difficult to do that, then it's not right. You're not in the right place. So.
But there was that business of, I'm going to retire tomorrow. No, I'm not. It's going to be next month. No, it's not. No, I'll go on to the end of the season. I mean, what was going on there?
Politics, basically.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was just a lot of business and politics in the background, which really made things very messy and very difficult to understand from the outside. But that's the nature of the beast. That is Formula One. It's primarily
a political animal.
Well, it's political, and it's also about a lot of money, and it gets very well heated, really.
Well, you're retired now.
Well, I've retired from driving.
Retired from driving, which must be nice. You don't have to do all that thanking sponsors business. That would drive me insane. Would you pass the Frosties, which provide enough vitamins and minerals to last a busy night?
Well, have you noticed I'm not wearing a hat?
Yeah, I know. First time I've ever seen the top of your head.
Yeah.
Are racing drivers the world's worst people, do you think, for being retired?
Well, I don't know yet. I think that racing drivers are a special breed. I think that people like racing drivers are very. I mean, I'm completely unadapted for most things. I mean, driving a car I could do, but there's not many things that fit that bill or exactly
mowing
that
the lawn.
mold.
You do it very fast.
Yeah. Well, it gets a bit, it gets.
Have you had it turbocharged?
Well, I keep going off onto the. I can't go off onto the grass, can I? Because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I go off onto the flower bed instead.
But do you have like electric trousers, and you have to be doing things all the time?
Yeah, I think that's the mindset is very much busy, and very kind of frenetic.
Is it a problem at home though that if you can't sit still and you can't just relax? It's one thing. It's one thing when you're at home and you've been working hard like a madman, to do that. Then that's fine. But if there isn't that kind of, I mean, I used to fly home after Grand Prix, and you'd come from a complete mad environment, a bit like Apocalypse Now, with helicopters taking off and everything, and leaping onto jets, and then flying home, and then you'd land, and then you'd just actually crave that quiet spot. But there has to be the craziness to go with it as well. Now you recently turned 40. A bit of a tradition on the show. Those who pass that milestone and enter into the second half.
It's very civilised. Good.
Have sherry to welcome you to a life of carpet slippers and abject misery. Whoops.
I mean, right.
Featuring all the.
Bloody hell.
Is it that bad? I normally get shouted at for this, but...
No, I think it's an excellent vintage.
It's delicious. I don't think sherry has vintage, though.
I didn't have a cough, but I think you have to have a cough to drink that, don't you?
Maybe you could reform your punk band. What was it called?
It was called Sex, Hitler and the Hormones. Which
there was?
Famously...
You mumbled that. What was it?
It wasn't really bad. I mean,
Hitler and the Sex Hormones.
I don't count doing 2 gigs at school being in a punk band. It was more like... I mean, we did a couple of gigs, and then we didn't really go on tour because we only had mopeds, and, which is difficult. You can't get a lot of gear on an FS1E.
So there's no chance of reforming the band?
Not for any sort of serious purpose. No, I don't think so.
I was going through Mika Hakkinen's glove box the other day and discovered, like you do, and discovered that it was full of Mariah Carey CDs, which frankly is a worry. Who in Formula One do you think had the worst musical taste?
I think it would have to be Michael, wouldn't it? I mean, what could he... Well, I just know he's so sort of Bavarian. He probably got the Umpar band. They're sort of Bavaria's finest 20 Umpar hits.
Well, it beat the Mariah Carey man anyway this year, that's for sure. Do you think Schumacher was a better driver than you?
I think he's a very good driver, absolutely. I mean, I think there were times when we were right up there. But I mean, how do you compare? I mean, he's not even as old now as I was when I started racing against him. So he was like quite considerably younger than me, and I think that gives you a little bit of an advantage. It's different situations. I don't know how you can... No, he's not as good as me. I'm not.
And, well, I was going to say, if there was a world championship for nice people, you'd have thrashed him in that as well, of course.
Yeah, but there isn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, Damon Hill. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Bye.